how-to guide for both facilitators and students on how to access and use the Wadhwani platform for the Ignite Entrepreneurship Program. So we start with the first half being for facilitators, and the second half will be for students on how to proceed. So first of all facilitators, you will need to log into the Wadhwani platform. So please take note of the web address. You might have saved that in the past or have it on your shortcuts, but you have to follow that link, web.nen.wfglobal.org/en/login. So please, this is for the facilitator login platform. So please use that link and save it on your shortcut, save it on your dashboard. You will be using it quite extensively. So once you've accessed the platform, now you need to type in your email address. That would be the email address that you have been using before as a facilitator. So you might still have access to it. If not, just make sure you can reach out to me and ask if you need confirmation of that email address. Unfortunately, I don't have the password. You will have to reset the password if you have forgotten that or you have not saved it on your dashboard. But yeah, so enter the email address that you use as a facilitator and then click on sign in. This will take you to your facilitator dashboard. It looks something like this. So you'll see all of your previous cohorts there that you might have facilitated in the past. They will be listed there, from last year, this year, whenever the last time was that you created a cohort, that will still be listed there. But for purposes of moving forward, we want to create a new cohort for this semester. New cohorts might be multiple, might be single. However, you'll follow the same process every time you create a new class for students to enroll onto. So I'm just going to click on new cohort. Your institution will be BOTO University. You'll see I have many listed here, but yours will most probably be BOTO or whichever university or college or institution you are from. That will be listed on your dashboard. So please, you'll check and see that you've only got one option. You won't have as many as I have. I'll use the BOTO one as an example. Your name will be there as the facilitator. Now, to select the delivery model, pretty straightforward. If you're going to be doing online delivery, select D2S. Not that it'll make any difference if you select the wrong one. It's not going to stop you from being able to deliver the program. It's just for us to get an understanding of who is delivering online and who's delivering more face-to-face. So if you're delivering online, students enroll remotely, then please select D2S. If you are delivering the program in class with the students right in front of you, you can select direct to faculty. Or if you deliver the session remotely to a class of students sitting all in one venue, then you select D2C. But irrespective, I repeat, doesn't matter which one you select, it won't make a difference. It's just for us to try and get an idea of who's delivering online, who's delivering face-to-face, and so forth. But yeah, so those are the three options there. Select the most appropriate one for you. The course will be Ignite Full Africa. Your stage would be Idea Stage. Your cohort name, that depends upon you, what the name of your class is. I'm just going to call it Demo Class Session July 2026. You call it whatever is required at your end to name your classes. Your start date will be as soon as you create the cohort. So I'm just going to say today. And the end date will be 12 to 14 weeks ahead of that. So you can just count forward, select what's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm going to say 12 weeks. If you extend that date, it won't make a big difference. If you finish before that date, it won't make a big difference. It's just a guideline. So the number of students allowed, again, that will depend each student or each facilitator's class size. I always say if you expect 30 students, double the number to 60. If you expect 60 students, double the number to 120. If you expect 100, make it 200. you get the idea. So I'm just going to say 100 for now. Now, if your students do work in teams, in academic institutions, they do work in teams for the academic programs. For incubators, they might work as individuals. So that is entirely up to you as a facilitator. You understand your cohort, how they will function. But usually classes, cohorts at academic institutions, we say around about 5 students in a group. Don't try, you can go up to 10, but I will not suggest that. It becomes difficult for students to work in a group that large. There's always some arguments and so forth, but keep it to maximum 5 or even 6, but maximum 5 students in a group or in a team if your students are going to be working in teams. And then we click on save. There we go. We have created the cohort now successfully. Now you can go back to your home page. And you'll see the cohort will be listed there. The program, just click on it. It will give you all the detail of the cohort. You'll see your start and end dates will be there. Now, just per info, if you go onto the top right-hand corner of your page, if anything you would like to change the name or anything you'd like to edit about the cohort, you can click on the 3 little dots there. Make sure you select edit cohort and not close cohort, because if you close it, you cannot reopen it. You have to create a new one. So I would say just make sure you click on edit cohort. And then you can change anything that you've just now created the cohort on. Right, so let's just finish that up again. Now we need to invite the students to enroll. There are 2 ways of doing it. I'm going to show you both. The first way to do it would be to say, click on Manage Students on your page there. Click on Invite Students. You'll see that you've got the cohort code there. You can keep that, make a note of it for reference purposes. The other way of inviting students you will require that cohort code. You will need that because it's a little bit of a different process. But for this purpose, if you've got a large class of around about 30 or so students, I would suggest use the other method. If it's not that big and you want to just invite them one by one, you can just enter their email addresses here one by one, copy and paste it, make sure they enter the email address there are no spaces and so on. So I'm just going to put in a demo one here for purposes. And I will show you what the student will get at their end when this process is followed. And so this is just a test demo email. So I'm going to click on invite. The other way, before I do that, there is another way you can do it that's also very effective. If it's a large number of students, you want to invite them all at the same time. You can click on download template. This is just another way of inviting the students to join the cohort. There are a few ways of doing it. I'm going to show them all to you so that you are familiar with that. So if you click on the download template, it'll download a spreadsheet like this onto your download link of your download file on your computer. It's just a blank spreadsheet. Don't change anything on it except from enable editing. And now what you can do is you can copy and paste your student email addresses in here. You've got them on a list or another spreadsheet and it's easier to copy and paste it. You can do that or type it in. But just make sure when you do type it in that your spelling is correct, like not that make a mistake like I just did. And then also that the link is active. In other words, that it reflects blue as a link. So if I click on this now, it'll open up a box that will allow me to send an email. It looks like this. No? So, but that's not to our, that's not what we want. We're going to copy and paste all of them in here. Doesn't matter how many there are. Just make sure that all those links pop up as blue. And then what you need to do is just save this. Just click on save in whichever folder you see. Mine ended up in the download folder. I'm just going to say save with the email addresses that I've copied in there. You can close it. And now what you can do is you can upload that very file here. Find it in your download folder. There it is. Just say open. So now it will upload and share those email addresses directly to your students, and your students will get an email in their inboxes that will give them the link to follow to complete their onboarding onto the platform. That is one way, or actually two ways of inviting your students. The first being send the invitations one by one, copy and paste them in here, or download the template, copy and paste them all into that file, save that file, make sure that all of the links are blue, that there are no spaces before it or after each email addresses, and then send it out. That is one way of inviting your students to enroll. The other way, which I believe is a little bit easier, is just for you to ensure that you've got this link. And I'm going to just make a note of this. Make a note of the cohort code. That is what you will need. If you don't have it, the students will struggle. So please make a note of that cohort code if you're going to follow the third method of enrollment. So that you will need that code. So I'm just going to copy it here. So I've got it. And now I will just sign out of this profile so that I can show you where the students can go. So this web address, actually, we can say log in. Just click on login. Log in as a student. It will bring you to a page that looks like this. Sign up. So this is the link that your students could also use. That link there. If you offer them that link, all they will need is their email addresses and the cohort code to be able to sign in. That is one way, of a very easy way, if you can share that link with them. It's a fairly long link, unfortunately. The shorter version of this would be to go to the all programs, a similar page where you log in as a faculty. So, and then all programs. And then what they need to do is click on login, log in as a student. Not on this. This is for an existing login member. New students will have to click on sign up, put in their email addresses and the cohort code to proceed. Okay, that's just the other way. So I'm going to go back to our original facilitator dashboard. In order not to confuse us all, I've shown you the three methods of your students to enroll. I am going to enroll myself now as a student so that I can show you the process what the students will follow at the student side of it. So that's just the cohort code. So we need that. We need so that's just the demo that I'm going to use. So whether I've invited my students using the upload template, or I've copied and pasted the email addresses in here one by one, or I've shared the link for them to use to just put in the cohort code and their email addresses. Any one of those three will take your students directly to your cohorts. But I'm going to show you the one that I think everybody's most familiar with. So I'm just going to click on send invitation. So I've invited myself now to join this demo cohort as a student. Let's just see if I can. There we go. So this will be my student Gmail account or my student account. Any student, the email address that the student can access. I'm going to just open it up and show you the process that the students will follow. See that email address. Let's just get that email invitation. Hope I used the right email address. Wadhwani, yes, student@gmail.com. Try that again. I might have mistyped it. Okay. Oh, there we go. There, the email just came through from the platform. So after you've sent that, copied the email addresses in there, the platform will send out the invitation for you. The student will get this in their inbox. It says Wadhwani NEN, get ready to solve. All the student needs to do is click on that. It'll say, dear student, congratulations. So there's a link for the students to start. There's a one-time password that they will receive, looking like that. And it says, please create your new password to complete your registration. So let's just click on that link and see where does it go. So that will take us to that login all program page. Click on login. Click on program membership. Student click on sign up. Put in their email address. A cohort code. Have that. Make sure to share that with your student. This is the cohort code that the student will need. It says already exists, so it means that they are already enrolled. So let's try that again. Output. Let's go check and see if the student is onboarded. Said the request is still pending. Sometimes because I use mine a lot, it won't always it's the right page. So that one. Student. Put your student name there. And the password would be the OTP number, that 4-digit number there, 5724 in my case. Yours will be different. 5724. Sign in. It's going to ask me to enter a new password. 5724. Why is this now? Sorry, I resent myself a new invitation. I knew it's 777. Sorry for that. 777. Sign in. Now I get to create a new password. The student will now create their own passwords. But they make sure that they remember that password. Because that password and username will be required every time they log into the dashboard. I'll just click on the acceptance there, confirm password. Now the student will put in their names. I'm just going to say my name. You make sure to type in the right one for the student. Select your country. Type in the first few digits. Will give you a country to select. Select city. select your city or the closest city to where you are. It might not pick up smaller towns and villages. It might only pick up main cities or capital cities. So please select the biggest city or find the biggest city that you have got access to. Put in your mobile number. You can select whether you want to get updates on WhatsApp so the facilitator can share details with you. The moment the classes are due, you can get reminders on WhatsApp and so on. So it comes in very, very handy to select WhatsApp and then click on submit. And this will bring you now, I know because I duplicated my enrollment, don't worry about that. Close that. Thanks. All right, so this is what the student will see after they've completed that one-page enrollment process. They will have access to the full program. Now, once students have completed enrollment, before they join as teams or create their teams, there is a process to follow for each student to complete before they get to create their teams and work together on their ventures. So for that to take place, this is very important, facilitators and students, that this process be completed in your very first class session after you've onboarded the platform. Each individual student must complete this before they can be part of a team or before the program will open up for them to complete the rest of the work. You'll see that the orientation process is there now. This will need to be completed. Each student must go through this and read it. There's not much to do. It's not a work task. It's more of a mindset and orientation to the Ignite program for each student to complete. So it's very, very important that students do this individually. Okay, so just click on Explore. You'll see those little circles will show your progress. So as you scroll through this and read through it, click on Continue. There's a little video there that you can watch to help you get more orientated. This is just quick to run through, guys. This takes a couple of minutes. Just read through it and click on the next tab to move forward and through this. It's very insightful. It helps to enlighten students on their path as an entrepreneur. There are a number of things there that will really become very, very useful during the course of the program for you to understand on how the program flow works and so forth. So I'm just quickly rushing through this. As you can see, it takes a couple of seconds and a couple of minutes, but it's imperative that you read this and understand it. So once you have completed the orientation program, everything there will be marked off in little ticks. Orange in this case, click on next lesson. See, already it shows me at 1%. Then I go back to the course content and we go to module 1. Very first lesson. This is per student, guys. Again, teams can be formed with students already, but they will not be able to form the team formally on the platform until they follow this, the next steps. So there's a primer to be done. The important thing here is everything that's marked up and mandatory must be completed. So I'm just going to quickly rush through this to show you what would be done, what needs to do. This will, students can quickly read through the concept primer. Again, module 1, problem identification, forms the baseline of what we're going to do. So it's very, very important to understand it. And it can be reviewed and revisited, but to start off with, to get everybody to the starting line, it's important that students complete these steps within the first class. Okay. It can be revisited to get a better understanding, but it's important that we get to this point. So then we have what we call the entrepreneurship baseline. Click on answer the questions. This will ask you a couple of questions, multiple choice, where you're at. So if you're a student and you are studying, you can select where you are. You're currently a graduate. What's your qualification? Doesn't matter. There's no wrong or right answers here, guys. This is just a little bit of a entrepreneurial baseline survey. Okay. If you're a graduate, if you're a student, select graduate. If you are still in high school, select under 12 standard. If you finished your studies, postgrad. If you haven't studied, you select anyone. Doesn't matter, you know. So what are you going to currently doing? If you're a student, you're studying. If you're an entrepreneur, you're starting your own business. What is your main reason for joining the course? And in many cases, it will be a mandatory course requirement within the college, or it will be part of an incubator program, or to develop your business idea further. You can decide which one fits best. And then the next one would be, what are your career aspirations immediately after graduating from college? You can again decide what is best suited to you. I'm just going to say I'm unsure. I don't know what I'm going to select. Over the next 2 to 3 years, how important do you think learning about entrepreneurship will be? I would say it's very important. How do you have prior knowledge? In my case, yes. In your case, you might not have. You decide what it is that you would like to, what's most appropriate for you. How confident do you feel that you're in your ability to start and run a business in the next 3 to 5 years? That's a little bit, looking into the future, but you decide which one you would like that's more appropriate. I would just say highly confident. And then how motivated are you within the next 3 to 5 years? I would say extremely motivated. In my case, you decide what works best for you, then click on submit. So there we have completed the entrepreneurship baseline questionnaire, and then we click on next. Second. So this is very, very important, guys, to just the facilitators and the students can go back to completing or recapping the concept primer. But the entrepreneurship baseline and the passion CV is the critical first steps to do when students have completed enrollment. So my suggestion would be in your very first class, complete the entrepreneurship baseline survey and complete the passion CV. Now you'll see that this passion CV says South Africa. That doesn't make a difference whether you are based in Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Egypt, or South Africa, or in Botswana. It doesn't matter. This will be fixed. It's just the program was developed using a South African case study. There will be the case study that's embedded now. It comes from South Africa, so that's why they called it the Passion CV South Africa. But we'll probably change that very, very soon. So don't let that put you off. It's not required. It's not going to make a difference to what we're going to do. So in the Passion CV, click on going below, click to access. This will take you to a screen outside of the platform. Again, don't pay any attention to the fact that it says South Africa. Click on start, put in your name. This is going to ask you a few questions to try and get an idea of where your interest lies. Because if we connect your interest to your passion to your entrepreneurial journey, your chances of success is so much higher. So I'm just going to put this in, put my email in. What is my major? If you are studying, put in what is your field of study? If you are not studying, what is your field of interest? In other words, if you are pursuing a current venture or a business idea, just put in technology or edtech or financial services or retail, whatever that line that is that you are interested in. If you're studying, what is your major? Put in there, what are you currently studying? I'm just going to say retail. As I'm not studying, which skills categories are you good in? So you decide where do you feel you are good in? Even if you're unsure, what is it that you think you might be good in? Do you think you might be good in designing stuff, or marketing and sales, or people management, financial, operations, meaning project management, that type of thing? Are you good in communications? You decide what's mostly multiple. You can select all or just one, but you have to select at least one of them. I'm just going to say communications and people management, for example. What problem area, industry that best connects with you? In other words, where does your interest lie at most? Now, for students, I would say always the field that you are studying would be first choice. or alternatively, any field that you've got a personal interest in. So if you are interested in drones, select technology. If you're interested in hospitals or studying for doctor, select health. Right? You decide which one is closest to what it is that your industry that you connect with. In my case, it'll be business services. Why do you feel connected with business services? I'm just going to say, um, I, this is just my feedback. Yours will be different. Don't need to type up long sentence. Just why do you like that industry? Why do you feel connected to that industry that you have selected? What makes you feel that this industry has significant growth potential in the future? Again, why do you think there's a potential for opportunity in that industry that you are interested in? Remember, this is not about starting the business. This is about interest and passion. So what you personally feel connected with. Just going to say, okay, you can type in whatever it is that you feel, what makes you believe this industry has got growth potential. And then click on submit, and you have just now completed the passion CV. You can just close that screen. Once you get the message that says it's been submitted, you can close that screen and go back to your platform, the dashboard, and just click on next lesson. Now you can go back, faculty and facilitators, students, you can go back to the module 1 course content, and then you can really delve into module 1. Okay, you see, I didn't even open up the introductions, everything. I just went straight. Unfortunately, you have to complete the mandatory selections there before you are able to complete the baseline and the passion CV. So those two are the crucial ones that we have to complete within the first class session. Having done that, will now allow you to go and create the venture. So this would be our next step. So if you're working in teams, your students might have formed teams. They will be able to create their team. If you are an individual, you can work individually. So just click on create the venture or create the team, whichever message pops up for you. I'm just going to give my venture a name and say, test venture. Again, select an industry that the group, in this case, what the group will be interested in if they are working as teams. So the group can decide what sort of industry will they be keen to explore. If you're an individual, you decide which one you want to follow. I'm just going to say education and training description. You can put in anything there. It's just say that's what I'm putting in. If you're not sure yet, just say to be decided. Okay. You don't need to put in a website. Of course, most of us won't have websites at this point, so you don't, that's optional. Again, select your country. This is where the group is based, or the entrepreneur is based, or the student is based. Select South Africa in my case. And the closest city again, it won't pick up the smaller towns and villages. It'll only pick up cities and capitals. So there we go. I've now done 3 activities. I have completed the entrepreneurial survey as an individual student. I've completed my passion CV as an individual student. And now the team or the students can create their venture. So if they are working in teams of up to 4, 5, or 6 students, only one student needs to create the venture. One student from the group can be nominated to create the venture. Once that venture has been created, then students can join that venture or be added. It's easier if the one student adds the venture or the remaining students to it. So to add students, go back to your homepage as the student or the student who's going to add the rest of the team. Click on course, go to my venture on top. It's now been created. It'll show the name of the venture, all of that details. Down, if you scroll down, you'll see venture team. So if you are going to be working as teams, make sure you add only the team members that have been nominated to join your team. Do not add people to the team from the list that is not part of your team or who has not agreed to work in the team or has been placed in the same team as you are by your facilitator. If you are individuals, you don't need a team or you don't have to work as teams, do not add anybody, please. That's important. To add a team member, there won't be any team members listed on mine, but as your students all enrolled, the list of the class will be there for you to select your team members from. In my case, there are no other students in this class, but you also will show the list of all students who have completed enrollment. And all you need to do is then click on the name of the students that you will add to your team. So team members will be added by the team. One person from that team can be nominated to create the team and to add team members, please. All right, I think that is good. So yeah, facilitator students, this is a short recap or a short how-to guide for facilitators to create the cohorts and to add the students to the cohort, invite students to enroll, and for students to complete enrollment and to complete the first class session. Where in the first class session, we work through the orientation. Must be green when you are done, and we do under module 1, lesson 1, we complete the baseline survey and the passion CV. As individuals, each student must do it individually before they can create a group and work as groups. Please, guys, that's it from my side. Thank you very much. Hope this was helpful, and I look forward to seeing you all on the program. Thank you. Bye-bye.